Wednesday, November 12th, 2025, AGNDD IntelliReport topic. Part of newly built bridge in China collapsed in seconds. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this entirely AI-generated article-based video. Video shows part of newly built bridge in China collapsing in seconds. The Hongqi Bridge, an infrastructure project in China's mountainous southwest, partially crumbled after a landslide, officials said. No casualties were reported. The Washington Post, November 12, 2:24 a.m. EST, www.washingtonpost.com/world. By Lyric Lee and Julie Yoon. A recently opened bridge in China's mountainous southwest partially collapsed Tuesday, with video showing huge dust clouds swiftly enveloping what remained of the structure. There were no reports of casualties. Parts of the 2,487-foot Hongqi Bridge in the city of Barkham in Sichuan province crumbled within seconds around 4 p.m. local time. The local government said in a statement that a landslide caused the collapse of the roadbed and approach ramp in that section. Police had already closed the bridge to traffic and cordoned off the area by Monday night, after local authorities identified cracks in the structure and instability on the surrounding slopes. Video of the collapse, first posted on social media and verified by Reuters, shows a section of the bridge breaking apart, sending massive plumes of dust across the surrounding mountainside as the columns fall into the water below. The remaining section hangs over the river. The bridge, which opened to the public in April, was part of a major national highway connecting the inland Sichuan province with neighboring region of Tibet. Hailed by officials as a local engineering milestone, the project cost around $1.3 million and took around 19 months to complete, according to the local government website. Its contractor, Sichuan Road and Bridge Group, removed promotional materials about the structure's opening from its site following the collapse. China has relied on huge state-backed infrastructure construction projects to spur growth, especially in inland regions, which have long lagged behind the prosperous coast. But the breakneck pace of construction has raised safety concerns. In August, at least 12 workers were killed when a bridge under construction in the northwestern province of Qinghai collapsed, according to a report in the state-run China Daily newspaper. Conversations, comments. Summary. The comments predominantly focus on skepticism regarding the reported cost of a collapsed bridge in China, which was stated to be $1.3 million. Many commenters expressed disbelief, suggesting that the figure is likely a mistake and should be in the billions, given the size and scope of the project. There is also discussion about the quality of construction in China, with some attributing the collapse to potential shortcuts in materials and construction techniques. Additionally, a few comments touch on the broader context of infrastructure development and regulatory oversight in China compared to other countries. Jack, 1984. November 12, 2025 at 7:55 a.m. Washington Post editorial rigor fell like the bridge. The bridge cost RMB 9 billion, that is $1.3 billion, not RMB 1.3 M. Truth defeats lies. Cost only $1.3 million, is that right? Pig can fly. Let me correct this article. $1.30 billion. User, what I was saying 4 hours ago. If it cost $1.3 million, that might explain why it collapsed. Noise Ferratu. 3 hours ago? If that bridge cost $1.3 million, consider me Miles Davis. Howard Scott Howes. 4 hours ago. This will give China to do more site grading, and stabilization of the loose soil will need to be done. This is what happens when you cut corners. It falls apart. Rick_CA. 1 hour ago. While China's massive infrastructure projects have been impressive, a vast number were built with substandard materials and questionable construction techniques. Would not be at all surprised to see more failures in the future. Vet 46, quote, after local authorities identified cracks in the structure and instability on the surrounding slopes. So no pre-construction examination of that hillside? David Cushman, 2 hours ago. When we were kids, we played a travel game where we tried to hold our breath for the full time of driving across a bridge. Charleston's Cooper River Bridge seemed appropriate to a child. Imagine getting used to having to use one of these new bridges regularly. The game starts to make sense. Sick of winning. 3 hours ago. They'll have it rebuilt in a week. Angus F., 2 hours ago. So is it the bridge that failed, or as the story seems to suggest, the slope underlying the bridge failed, taking the bridge with it? Stephen S.J., 3 hours ago. Total repair cost is estimated to be $750,000 according to local Communist Party officials. They explained that labor costs are free. Daily Mom, 37 minutes ago. Holy asterisk, 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 asterisk. That is all I can say. Thankfully, no one was on that doomed bridge. Sherry G., 2 hours ago, reminds me of bridge on the River Kwai. Chris, 82, 2 hours ago. Everyone, the bridge absolutely did cost only $1.3 million. That's why it collapsed. $1.3 million only buys you a bridge that lasts for a few months. You have to pay a lot more to get something with a lifespan measured in decades. Foot goo, 1 hour ago. Silly Chinese. Not building a bridge to withstand several million tons of lateral force. Anybody remember Galloping Gertie, the Tacoma Narrows Bridge? Crown Counsel, 2 hours ago. I feel sad for those engineers and construction workers who put in their time, heart, and soul into this project only to see it collapse. I hope it was not caused by human failure, design, but sometimes Mother Nature can be unpredictable. The resulting study as to the cause will be interesting to read. And for those who automatically have a conclusion as to the cause, give a thought to the local authorities who clearly had the resources in place to catch the fault in time to close down the bridge before anyone was hurt. I suspect this is an issue associated with local geology, and the question now is what lessons can be learnt. Iron Lady, 2 hours ago, gives renewed meaning to Made in China. Duck Fan, 3 hours ago. The Chinese take shortcuts, the United States takes years. A small 2-lane bridge, 5 car lengths long, is going to be replaced in my neighborhood. It will cost $24 million and won't be complete until 2030. Red tape, regulation, padding, and silly add-ons, equity, all contribute to ridiculous costs and lengthening of projects. And don't get me started on the interstate bridge. $450 million spent and no bridge at all was built. Philip Barr, 4 hours ago. My first thought after seeing it on TV was China. Sure enough. Evening Sky, 6 hours ago. Call out the firing squad. She won't be happy. Those More, 8 hours ago. I had a neighbor who was a professor of soil mechanics, the weight-bearing capacity of soil. He did a textbook. He was apparently famous for his work. He would do a study of this collapse if he were hired and were alive. This collapse was dramatic. I suspect no engineer who could say no passed on building it or the other bridge mentioned. So if one is a tourist in China, be careful of transportation. It may be built sloppily to one's detriment. Citied, 5 hours ago. Most American newspapers reported yesterday that the bridge collapse in China inferred workmanship or material. Today it's released that it was a rock slide or something from nature that caused the collapse. Can't trust the U.S. press to report a simple story correctly.
Thank you for watching this AGNDD IntelliReport, dear viewers. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified during new uploads. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers.